Okay, go ahead and start.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Epic Empire call. I am stepping in for Jatana. She is out with family, so we are going to go ahead and start with recognition. I don't see anything, Nicola. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. So tonight we're going to start with team builders. So we have 34 new boss babes added in 17 days, which is pretty epic. That is awesome, you guys. All right, so team builders. Kelly Batchelor, 5. Ashton Fox, 3. Lauren Anderson, 3. Kelly King, 2. Layla, if I butcher names, I'm so sorry. 2. Stephanie, 2. Jatana, 2. Kelsey King, 2. Kendall, Kelsey King, 1. Kendall, 1. Lindsay Duran, 1. Monika, 1. Shirley, 1. Sue, Tiffany, and Valerie, 1. Chelsea, 1. Cindy, Jamie, Jerry, 1. Jessica, 1. And Katie, 1. I wasn't even going to attempt the last names, guys. Sorry. I'm not that familiar with them. I didn't want to offend you. And then Ren's going to do Success Club. We are double teaming it tonight.
Yes, we're tag teaming it so Jatana can enjoy her dinner. So I am going to go over Success Club. I'll go ahead and apologize over names as well, but hopefully I get them all. So let's talk about Success Club. There we go. Okay, so those of you who are on the board, who you are working towards Success Club, your goal is to get to at least 5 points. The people we have on the board right now at 2 points, we have Kelly King, Kelsey King, my dog's jumping in my lap, Amanda Brady, is that Stacia? Layla Turner, Trey Thompson, Audra, Katie, Kendra, Miriam, Brandy, Chelsea, Rebecca, Dina, Annette Wynn, Tiffany Parsons, Melanie Etheridge, Vanessa, all at 2 points. And then at 4 points, who are so close to getting into Success Club, you need one more person. We have Vanessa. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I just have Vanessa. Stephanie, Lindsay, Ashton, Valerie, and Lindsay. And then in Success Club, you've already secured it for this month. Oh, my gosh, go away. We have Megan Bankston, Jatana Jackson, Blasia, Lauren, and Kelly Batchelor herself. Good job, guys. All right, and then I forgot we're running this, aren't we, Kelly? So we are we have 4 of us on the call tonight speaking. I am going to just, if that's okay, go ahead and go into me since I'm already here. My baby is sleeping right there, so while he sleeps, I'm going to go ahead and talk. But we learned so much, and if you've never been to a team event or like anything, whether it's Summit or Super Saturday, you really have to go because it lights your fire and it makes you just like sorry, my dog almost jumped on my baby. I had to make sure that wasn't happening. It really just like lights your fire and makes you want to work so much harder. Like really does. Like everyone keeps asking me why I have my bands on still. And I'm like, because when I look down and I see my bands, it just makes me like want to work even harder. And so I'm going to keep them on until I start smelling. Sorry. All right, but some things that I took away, I was in the diamond trainings, but a lot of the things that I really liked were in the general sessions when we were all there. And there was a few things that everyone can really take away, and one of them was that a lot of coaches did like a 48-hour push. And I personally think that if you've never done this, if you're a brand new coach or if you're like a coach that's been here for forever, anybody can do this. Take the next 48 hours and do this thing called the 48-hour push. And what you do is you're going to write down 5 people who you think would be awesome at coaching or who needs coaching in their life. 5 people who you think would benefit from Shakeology in their life, and 5 people who would really benefit from doing the fitness part. Write down 5 people in each and like have those people in mind for the next things that I'm going to talk about. But some things that they talked about was everyone asks, how do you find working coaches? Like, I want coaches under me who are going to work. How do I find those working coaches? And the answer is like mind-blowing and legit. You don't find working coaches, you build them. I wasn't a working coach when I signed up. Like, I had no clue what I was doing. I really didn't anticipate getting to where I am now. I really just wanted to get hot. Like, that was my goal. So you don't find working coaches, you build them. All right. And then, like, I'm just going off my notes here. When you're talking to people, everyone thinks that they're going to word vomit and they don't really know what to say, especially when talking about the coaching opportunity. So really use your tools, like your third-party tools. The back office has some. There's some really cool videos. Brooke Lipoff, I think is her name, did an awesome video that you can send to prospecting coaches. And it's just really good for them to hear from other people because they're watching your stories every day. They're seeing what you're doing, but for them to hear it from other people and hear it in other voices and hear, someone besides you, like, yelling at them, telling them how great it is. Like, it's really cool for them to just see it's not just you. So the third-party tools. Oh, and Beachbody said that they have some really new awesome ones coming out very soon. So be on the lookout for those. They're like revamping everything. Then, Club 100 was something I wrote down that I thought was awesome. There's so many people who they send 20 invites a day for 5 days a week, and they call themselves like they're in the Club 100. And that's what I decided to start doing this week, and I've done it every day this week so far. Club 100, 20 invites a day for 5 days a week. So 2 days a week, you don't even have to send your invites. But that's where you go back to your 48-hour push and look at those people who are going to be good for coaching and Shakeology and fitness.
Rin, does that include your follow-ups too, or are those like brand new invites?
No, those are brand new invites. So I do follow-ups completely separately.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. So the excuses that you hear the most, like when you're inviting or when you're following up or when you're talking to people, those excuses that you get the most of, it's mostly like money or time or whatever. Gear your stories on your Instagram and your Facebook, gear your stories towards those excuses. So with me, like no one can really tell me that time is an excuse anymore because I have 5 kids and a dog and, I still do all the things. So like, obviously my stories are geared towards that, but any excuses that you get, kind of gear your stories towards it so that they want it, they want it. You've talked to them, they've given you their excuse. Now you're kind of like debunking whatever it is called, their excuse. Like, you're showing them they need it still. And then another thing is, I'll kind of end it with this, but knowledge isn't power. Rachel Hollis said this. Knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is power. You can get on these calls. You can go to Summit. You can go to Super Weekend. You can go to all these things, but if you're not actually doing what you learned, then it doesn't even count. So take it, even if it's just one thing that you hear on this call tonight, take it, use it, actually apply it, and then you're already a step ahead. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Kelly.
Thank you, ma'am. So Ren and I were actually in the same session, so I'm glad nothing that I'm going to talk about is what she talked about, so you guys will be able to take something else away from it. Literally, it's mind-blowing. I am still trying to process everything. I have a notepad right here in front of me with some notes that were just in my brain. I've got notes on my phone. I have pictures of slides from 4 days worth of learning, to the point that I've got so much stuff going on in my brain that I came back. I literally just unpacked. For the last 2 days, I've been sitting in this chair, plowing away, trying to projects, getting my ideas down, what I want to do. So if you can get to Summit, start saving for it now. so that it's not something at the end. Because like for me, I've been a coach for 4 years and this is my first year. So I would start saving so that there's not an excuse when it comes time for you to back out or for you to not show up, because that was one of the excuses that I never went before amongst many others. But if you can get there. It is truly like mind blowing. It's really hard to put into words all the knowledge you're hearing from coaches that you're probably watching on social media. And it's nice that they're sharing really good pieces of information that you can put towards your business. Just like Ren said, she touched on it a little bit. One thing that keeps playing in my mind, and it's something that we all know, and it's something that we hear all the time, consistency is key. None of these coaches had, it just drop in their lap. They showed up every single day, whether they were sick, whether their kids were sick, whether they, were tired, or they needed to wake up early, they needed to go to bed. So like, you really have to set a goal, and then your action plan has to be based around that goal, and you have to actually act on it. The idea sounds great. It sounds great to be a part of the Legacy Club, which was like the Millionaires Club. It sounds great to be a six-figure earner, but you're never going to make it there unless you are consistently showing up. Like Rin said, I love the Club 100. I actually forgot about that, so I wrote that down to remember. So consistency is key, because nothing that you do is going to turn into anything unless you're showing up every single day. One thing that really stuck with me, other than that, well, there's a lot of things, but I wrote down an avatar, because for so long it's been hard for me to kind of hone in on one particular group, I guess. And it consistently showed up over the course of 4 days, whether it was one sentence that somebody said or like a whole session that someone was talking about. You can't help everybody. Like, it sounds great, but you can't. You're not going to get along with everybody. Not everybody is going to be attracted to you. And it goes for challengers and for coaches. So I am trying to mold my team of challengers and then my team of coaches into mini me's. And that sounds so conceited, but I'm just talking about like the excuses that I've had, the journey that I've gone on, the things that people can connect with me on personally. Those are going to be the things that we can connect on in our challenge groups, in my coach groups, and personally. Because if you can't connect with the people that you're talking to on a daily basis, you're not going to show up, they're not going to show up. And then it's just not going to be a great relationship. And this is a health and fitness journey. It's very personal. You need to have people that you vibe with. So that's something I took away. Like, I don't want girls in my challenge groups or girls in my on my team of coaches that I can't get along with or that I have nothing in common with. Like, for me, I don't want this to sound bad, so don't take it this way. But like, for me, I can't connect with a 50-year-old woman. I'm 29. I love to shop online. Sometimes it's inappropriate. And I just don't think that I can connect with a 50-year-old woman like I can a 29 to 30 or 35 woman that's more like me, and we have the same similarities, the same hobbies, the things that we can connect on. So I'm really trying to make my niche more specific, because I know I can't help everybody. And I really want to have a close-knit group, because at Summit it was obvious the teams that were like this, that did everything together, and I want that for myself. So making sure that you're being specific to who you're posting to. Like, every single day I'm sharing about my story, and storytelling is so important. There was like a whole session on storytelling, and not just saying, oh, I was so tired today, but I got my workout done. You have to be more specific, and you have to go more in depth, other than just, being basic. Like, people have to feel emotion, and they want you to share with them the good, the bad, the ugly, because that's going to make you more relatable. There's one thing, and I can post it later, but there's 5 questions that I forget who it was. It was in one of the sessions, but there's 5 questions think it was Angie Belmar actually, and Mandy Kai. They were talking about storytelling. So I will post that in the group somewhere, but it's at like creating your story with these 5 questions. So I can post some slides from there that I was going to refer to, but I want to make sure we have enough time. Another thing that really stuck with me is how you can make an impact every day. I know, Emily Fauver was on stage with Ashley Molstead, and she was talking about waking up every single day and asking herself how she can make an impact. That sounds super silly, but it's easy in this industry to get salesy, and you're watching other people and you're comparing yourself to other people. And I have found myself doing that. And then I get super uncomfortable, like trying to talk to people because I haven't been being me. I've been comparing myself and I haven't been adding value because I see like somebody else doing what works for them and I get away from what works for me. So I'm waking up every day, like today and yesterday, I woke up, how can I add value today? So in my posts and in my stories and all the freaking groups that I'm running right now, I've been trying to add value, and I'm going to continue to ask myself that every single day. Another thing was that, just real quick, about your team page, if you're building a team and really like adding coaches, something I really liked was having a business builder page. Like, so for example, Tatiana has this group and our team page that we're all in, but she can make a separate group for business builders that within the first week of the month or 2 weeks, whatever she wants to do, she can, I'm just using an example, she could put all of the people that have hit Success Club into this other group and then do one-on-one calls, coffee chats. Like, those are already available to us, but other coaches are only offering those to coaches who have hit Success Club. One-on-one calls, trainings, push groups, different things like that to kind of get to that next level, which kind of creates FOMO for those other coaches that kind of just need a little extra push. So I liked that. I think that's it. And I'll post like whatever I have. I've got like 50 pictures of slides. So as I'm like processing everything, and if I think that something's like really good, I can just post it in the group for you guys to see. So I don't know who wants to go next.
I can go if you want me to.
Perfect. Go for it, girl.
Okay. I'm an Emerald coach. Actually, I think right now I'm a coach because one of my coaches is inactive. We're working on getting her active again. So I was in like the brand new business builder kinds of things. And so it was really interesting because first of all, I will say I have thought about going to Summit for a long time, but I just joined Tina's team in March. And so coming was really good because I hadn't met anybody before. And it also made me really motivated to bring like all of my own people next year, because as fun as it was to meet everybody, I like want to bring my own team. It made me that much more excited to bring my own coaches. And I was like, oh, I can totally get to Diamond after this. By next year at Summit, I'm going to have a van full of people, or an SUV full of people. But the onboarding new coaches track was one of the topics, was like, as you add new coaches, it was really good for me because I feel like I am a new coach. So it was kind of convicting me. There's a chat thing. I don't know if I can. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. I was like oh, yeah, me too. I'm taking 20. Okay, yeah. I'm like, I'm going to take 10 coaches with me next year. We're going to have like our own rooms. And it's going to be like a little mini party. It's going to be the Callistus team. I haven't even named my team yet. I'm really excited, though. It made me that much more excited about it. So anyway, this onboarding new coaches thing, the very first thing that I wrote down was every successful business has a content calendar. And I was like, well, I don't have that, but I have a planner. So I have my calendar and it's blank right now, but I'm going to write down a content calendar to talk about whether I'm inviting to Morning Meltdown or to an actual team. Because one of the things that I heard was like, people get really confused. Like, are you inviting me to Morning Meltdown? Are you inviting me to be a coach? What are you trying to get me to do? And I think sometimes what I've been posting was confusing because I would mention nothing in order. The So that's what I'm doing next. One of the other points that I had was to check on your coaches and celebrate any wins. And I've been doing that with myself too. Like anytime anyone messages me and is like, oh, you're totally motivating me to work out. And then I'm like, hey, do you want to do these with me? And they're like, no, but thanks for your motivation. I'm like, okay, that's still a win. That's still good. And like my other coach, she's a Zumba instructor, and she said she's been talking to people and she's been documenting her own journey. And so we've been celebrating all the little tiny bits of progress. And I'm like, okay, that's still forward motion. And so that's something, because sometimes it can get discouraging when you're first starting, or at least for me, it has been when I'm not making a lot of progress that I really want to. I feel like I'm talking to so many people, and I haven't sold anything yet this month. And neither has my coach, but we are making progress. People are talking to us. So I'm like, okay, those are baby wins. We're going to celebrate those along the way. The next thing that they talked about was that you can't drag your coaches. You have to figure out what lights their fire and then go with that. But that's like, I heard that a lot this week. Work with the working, not with the willing. And not only was that good for me to hear for helping other people, but it was good for myself, because a lot of times I feel like I'm a very willing person, but then I look and I'm like, okay, am I actually doing the work? So a lot of this with onboarding new coaches was also good for me. Take messy action, also good for me. Focus on your mindset, which is a big one. Role modeling the way, like, okay, why am I still doing this? Even if I'm not making the progress that I'm seeing I'm doing, I'm not going to quit because I still love what I'm doing. I got to, be the role model. If my coaches that are watching me don't see me doing the same things, like what we talked about before, about showing up every day and reminding myself why I'm here. So I'm thinking, I have like this big blank spot right in front of this computer. I'm just going to like write why I keep doing coaching up there, so that on the days that I'm like, oh, I don't need to send my invites today, you hear I think every single session I went to talked about that business building tracker. And I haven't printed mine out yet, but I found out you can click the check boxes. It's like an Adobe format, and I didn't know that before. But you can like click them and then save them on your computer. So no excuses. Even though my printer's broken, I can still use the activity tracker because I can just click the check boxes there. Every single session said do that. And I'm like, okay. So on the days that I don't feel like doing it, I still can just pull it up and do it on my computer. So those were my major takeaways, and it was definitely worth going, even though I just got started. So it can be someone else's turn now.
I just want to piggyback on the activity tracker, because I have some ideas for that I've kind of thought about before. Before I left my iPad on the plane on my way to Indianapolis, so I'll say a prayer that I get it back, please. I would do all of my business activity tracking with my pencil on my iPad, so that I wasn't wasting paper and having like piles and piles of paper everywhere. That just frustrated me. So if you have an iPad that you have a pencil, or even something similar that might be compatible, take a screenshot of it, use it. Or I know Staples or like some company can print out an entire booklet, like a ringed booklet of 365 days worth of trackers, or however many weeks there are. And then you can check it off. I thought about making these for my coaches as well, and sending it to them like once they hit Emerald, because I think they can be a little pricey, but that's just an idea if you're like me and don't like paper scattered everywhere. Okay, whoever's next.
I guess I'm gonna do my points now. Ren, I can't with your baby right now. It's so cute. Like to the left of my screen. So alert. Okay. So I was in the Coach Business Accelerator track as well. And I think it's funny because we're all in like similar tracks, but we all took different things away. And what you'll notice too is it's all simple things that if you just do them, then you'll see results. But a lot of times we write them down in our notebooks, and then we might shut it, and then we never open it up again, and we don't apply it. So that's what I'm like. This year is my 4th summit, and I'm sick of feeling stuck or staying stuck, and the magic is in actually doing the work. So I'm going to go over 2 things that I got from Summit in the sessions that I was at. And the first one was by Chelsea and Rob Pearson. They were talking about ways to invite and recruit with confidence. And I know I'm not the only one that when it comes to inviting, I did. Like, this is probably one reason my business hasn't moved forward or why I'm still stuck at Emerald, is because I have this negative mindset when it comes to inviting. So I'm sure my energy is coming off negative, and I'm receiving negative feedback. So the first thing to do when it comes to being confident with your inviting or recruiting is just changing your mindset about it, because what we have to offer is a gift and it changes people's lives. So if we're thinking of it as something that's so negative and like we're selling, then obviously that's not the right mindset to have. So flipping your mindset, and they kind of were talking about it as in like inviting with having posture, because I mean, if you think about it, if you see somebody with posture, like really good posture, you just associate confidence with it. And so a way to do that is to like see if the challenger or the coach is open. So see if whoever you're wanting to invite, see if they're open to joining the group, and if they're not, detach yourself from it, because you're going to do the 100 days worth of workouts no matter if they join you or not. So just being confident that, okay, you don't want to join me, that's okay. They also said to go ahead and like give them an out when you invite, which I thought was really interesting, because when I first started coaching a while ago, nobody really suggested that. So I kind of thought that was something to stay away from, but the way that they were wording it, it really makes a lot of sense. So giving them an out before they ask you for an out. So the examples that they used was, I don't know if you'd be interested in an accountability community for your fitness goals, but if you are open, I'd love to share it with you. So you're saying, hey, I don't know if you are interested, but if you are, blah, 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 blah. Or the other one was, no big deal if this isn't for you, but have you ever thought about doing what I do as a coach? So it's really simple, but it's saying like, I feel like it's not as pushy, or it's like, hey, it's really cool if you aren't open to this, but if you are, I want you to be on my team. Like, I think you'd be great at it. So I really kind of liked how they did that. And then again, they just said to honor their decision and don't get caught up in it. So if they say no, no big deal. You're still going to go on coaching and you're still going to go on doing the workouts. So don't get caught up. And honestly, they're probably going to come back around if you stay consistent by showing them that you are doing those 100 workouts and you're getting results. So just move on if they do say no. The other thing they said is to model what you're trying to do. So if you are trying to be a business builder, then you need to define what is a business to you. And that might look different for all of us, for our team goals and what we want for the future of our coaching business. So you have to define what that means for you, and then you have to model that. So whatever you define as a business builder, you need to be, because what you are doing is what you're attracting. So that's a big thing. I think a lot of us, or I know for myself, I might like be wishing to get these business building coaches, or coaches that want to work the business, or coaches that want to go to Summit, and then like I find myself not inviting or skipping workouts or not checking into challenge groups. So if you are wanting challengers that work, then you need to show up in your challenge group and work. And if you want coaches that work, then you have to do those things to attract that, because we have to be clear on what a business builder is if we want to attract that. So that's just really key in moving your business forward. Live out your definition of a business builder. The other step, or there's 5 steps total. The third one is to motivate. And obviously we should all be doing that as coaches. If you're motivating, you're inspiring, you're attractive, people are going to follow you, whether they are in your challenge group or not. So, but when it comes to having your challengers and your coaches, you need to ask them, like, what does success look like for you with Beachbody? Because that success looks so different for all of us. And then you need to help them get to what success is for them. So the 4th step is mentor. So you are going to help mentor them to whatever that success is. You're going to work alongside them to help them get to that point of success. And then the 5th point is multiply. So if you're doing all those things, if you have the right mindset, if you're modeling what you want as a coach or a business builder or a challenger, and then if you're motivating and mentoring, then you're going to multiply. Your team is going to grow. And I think that's what we all want in the long run, or we wouldn't be on this call. So they had a quote on there too, which I thought was really good. The law of attraction is this: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Because I can sit here all day long and want business building coaches, but if I don't do jack shit, like, I'm not going to get anywhere. And that's why I'm still where I am now. So we're going to take all this information that we got from Summit and we're going to apply it, and y'all are too. And then the other thing, the last takeaway I got was from Artina Marie. They were talking about limiting beliefs. And I know for me, this is like the biggest block in my business because, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, like I sit there and I tell myself all this stuff that I can't be successful because blank, or I'm not a good coach because blank. And a lot of us, I know, sit there and do that. I'm going to list off some of the suggestions they had. Okay, so they said, have you ever thought, I'm not qualified to be a coach because I'm too shy or introverted. I'm too old or too young. I'm not fit enough. My life is too boring to share. I feel like that. I'm not tech savvy and I'm not worthy of success. So I'm sure we've all thought something along those lines. Or I could be more successful if I had more followers or got more likes. Or if I didn't have my full-time job, I'd be more successful. And those are things that I find myself getting stuck in sometimes. But again, if you just do the work, then you'll find yourself getting out of it. But they were going over steps to get yourself out of those lies, because any of those limiting beliefs that you tell yourself, AKA those are lies. So write those down. Write down what you think or what you believe about yourself. And then what you need to do is flip it to the truth. So, you know, I can be successful. I am worthy of success. I don't need all those followers to be successful because I need to serve the people that are following me, and then that will multiply and grow outward. Kind of like what Ashley and Emily were talking about, as if you have a dinner party and you're out on the street banging pots and pans to get people to come to your house for your dinner party, and the 5 people that are in your house sitting there waiting for dinner, like, you're not serving them. So that's how you should be with your following. And word of mouth and motivation, like, people are going to come. You are going to attract people that you want to attract to your page. So really getting outside of your mind and not getting stuck in the lies that we tell ourselves every day. So yeah, overall, those are the 2 biggest things that I took from coaching and or from Summit. And yeah, so that's kind of all I have to say.
Just want to echo something because Morgan said it and Callista said it, and I've lived it. If you want your coaches to do something, you physically have to do it too. If you want your challengers to do something, you have to do it too. And I've been doing this for almost 5 years now, and I'm so mad at myself that I'm not farther along than I am, but it's my own fault. Because I would fall off, and when I would fall off, so would my coaches. When I would stop working out and doing all the things, so would my challengers. Like, they know that, and they pick up on that, and they follow. Like, that's what you're there for. You're there to lead them and show them the way. And so when I am so consistently on it, so is my team. And I see several of my team on here, and that's what it is. So just make sure you're on it. And everyone was saying it at Summit, so obviously there's something there.
I'm going to piggyback on that for a minute because I have a question. So everybody, I can see her, because I had a lot of gut checks this past experience. I was like, oh, well, yeah, nope, didn't do that. Nope, don't do that. So I want you to gut check yourself for a second. First, I'm going to ask, raise your hand if you have been frustrated that you are not adding coaches to your team. Okay. Now raise your hand if you've been asking or reaching out and inviting to coaching every single day. You go, girl. I saw one hand. Okay. Now ask yourself, or raise your hand, if you are posting or talking in stories every single day, some way, shape, or form about coaching. Okay. There's your gut check. Same thing with challengers. Raise your hand if you've been frustrated that you are not getting challengers? Now raise your hand if you have been inviting every single day to your challenge group. I mean, I have, but. And that is a reflection. Right now, I'm sitting at Success Club 12 with 6 coaches. And that's because when I came back from Summit, I had a fire lit underneath my ass, and I decided that I haven't been inviting to coaching. I haven't been inviting to challenge groups every single day, and that stopped the day I came back from Summit. So you have to ask yourself, if you want these things, you have to follow the tracker and you have to be doing the vital behaviors. They say they're vital and you need to be consistent. Ashley Molstead, top coach. Emily Fauver, all the coaches that were sitting on the floor as elite or top coaches, their Success Club legends and all this other recognition, had their names on banners, crazy gifts, because we are so lucky to have a company that wants to recognize us, takes us on trips that we earn, but you have to do the things that they're telling you to do. And that's being consistent and showing up every single day, sharing your story, and following the tracker. So hopefully this was your gut check, just like I had one, because I had a lot of freaking gut checks. Let me tell you, I was like so frustrated, like, oh my gosh, I'm not signing coaches. I'm not signing challengers. Like, I'm not moving my business forward like I know I should be. And here I am comparing myself to all the other coaches that I'm watching. And I'm like, I'm going to do it like her. Well, what is she doing that's so special compared to where I'm at? But they're probably, I know they are, they're inviting every single day. They're sharing every single day. They're storytelling every single day. They're doing their tracker, whether they have to wake up early, whether they have to go to bed late, whether they have to sit there and eat dinner, or, when you're on the toilet. You know what I mean? Like, you got to fill it in the power pockets of your day. And you do not lay your head down to rest until it's done if you want to move your business forward. If you don't do those things, then you can't really complain that you are where you are today, because you are a direct reflection of where you are in your business. And I'm saying that to myself too. Trust me, I had a lot of gut checks where I said it to myself this week. So does anybody have any questions about anything specifically?
Can I jump in on the whole inviting thing?
Yep, go for it.
This was my 4th summit. I've been coaching 3.5 years, so I've gone to every single summit that I've been able to. So I echo the fact that if you can get yourself to summit, not if, it should be a non-negotiable. So next year, plan to go, because it's phenomenal just for your self-esteem. It's phenomenal for just to get a fire under you. I think all of us came back just ready to work and ready to do this. And one of the reasons, and something that stuck out to me this summit, is both challenge group or both Beachbody Challenge winners, and if we'd heard from the other ones, probably them too, the top coaches, they all talk about one common thing. They were invited. Somebody invited them. It changed my whole outlook on sending invites. I don't feel icky sending an invite at all. If someone says no, it's just not for them. They might say no, they might say not right now, and then some of them are doing something else, which is fantastic. So it just changed my outlook, knowing that every single person in this room of 20,000 coaches, most of them were invited in some way. And they were invited personally. They were invited because they saw a coach posting and they followed them, and they might have reached out to them, but that's an invite. Your posting is an invite. So change the way, it's going to be crucial to change the way you see inviting. If you're kind of timid and you're like, ooh, I don't want to invite 20 people, it's icky. What if they tell me no? What if they unfriend me? Honestly, what do you care? Because a lot of the people in my 3,500 Facebook friends, I don't know them anyway. If they disappear, it's not going to affect me. So I'm just going to invite because we have an opportunity to change their life. They could be the next Beachbody Challenge winner. They could be the next top coach. They could just be the next person that changes the trajectory of their entire family legacy of diabetes. Just the whole thing. So I came back with that revelation that inviting isn't icky. We're not selling anybody anything. We're offering them something. If they choose to take it, great. If they don't, that's on them. And we're just here to lead people. And we're here to just offer it to them. And it's more like an offer, not an invite. but really focus on that you want to do it with them, not I'm trying to sell you something, I have this for you. And so stories of, focusing on letting them know they're not alone, because I think that's something you also take away from Summit, because we showed up and I think, what was there, like 50 coaches or something from Epic. So we have this huge group of people, and it just makes you feel and know that you're not alone. So we all have similar frustrations. We all have, whether we're top coaches, whether we're elite coaches, we all do the same things. We all get the highs and the lows and the ups and the downs. And we just power through, and we do that together. So just like our challenge groups are together, it helps to get together with coaches and just hear that everybody else is in the same boat. And then it's just super fun. Like, we had a lot of fun. I think a lot of us came back not able to talk because we were cheering on our fellow coaches in the Beachbody Classic. We were, hanging out and just laughing and running around and just enjoying each other's company. And for the most part, a lot of these women are strangers. You meet them for the first time and they become your best friends within 10 minutes. I don't know about you, but I don't know that there's many other places I've ever experienced anything like that. So we have something really special. I've been involved in a couple of other groups, like chat groups and things with other coaches. And what we have on this team is truly special. We have a closeness. It comes down from the top. I mean, Jatana has created just an awesome organization. And it's true that your vibe attracts your tribe. And I think all of us, when we're creating our teams, we want that family atmosphere. We want that friendship, and we want that, and that just continues on. So it just multiplies. But you really, truly do feel that. And Summit is just a great place to experience that. So I know there's many of us that you can, talk to people and you'll see it, that they room with people that they've never even met. So can you imagine like showing up and spending 4 days, 5 days with someone you don't even know, and you have to sleep in the bed with them, and you have to stay in the same room, and you have to get ready, and it doesn't always work out, but for the most part, you're meeting these people and they're just friends. And by the end of the trip, you can't wait till the next trip. So get yourself to Summit. That would be the number one. And then just change the way you look at inviting. It's an offer. It's an opportunity, and it's a great thing. It's not an icky thing. It's not a salesy thing. It's an awesome thing. And I'm not going to say this to be like nasty, but you're selfish if you keep it to yourself. And I've heard that through summits and other calls. And how can you keep it to yourself? What's something that's helped you? Now, if it hasn't helped you, well, I don't know. But I think all of us have been changed in some way, and we can pay that forward. Anyway, that's my 2 cents about Summit.
I like what you said about it's selfish if you keep it to yourself, because sometimes I say that to the people that I'm inviting. More specifically with coaching, I'll say, I feel like I'm doing you a disservice by not reaching out to you and inviting you to this opportunity. But inviting is definitely something that I have always been really scared to do. And then the thing that you just don't want to do, but I do it anyways. And I've gotten over the fear of being rejected, because all of my coaches, one of them's on this call, said no several times, multiple times, time again. Some of the girls that joined me today and yesterday in my boot camps, I've been talking to them for even years. So as long as you're showing up every single day and adding value, and you're constantly checking back in, a month goes by, another month, every other month, depending on what your feelings are about them, you still have to continue to invite them, because no doesn't mean no. It just means not right now. Unless they're like, no bitch, like I hate you, go away, which I've never had that experience. Most people are really nice. So you just have to go for it. So are there any other questions or anything that anybody wants to add before we hop off? Good. All right. Well, thank you guys for hopping on. Hopefully you got something away from this. I know that all of the sessions were recorded. I don't know what availability they are, but in every room I was in, there was a camera, and I know years ago, like every year after Summit, they slowly start to, drop out on, the Champions page and different things like this, and their YouTube page. You can get the recordings as they release them. So I'd keep an eye out for those because they're really going to be informative for you guys once they're out, because then you'll be able to feel a little bit what we felt. So I hope you guys have a good night.
Do you want to do a quick picture?
Oh, yeah. I don't know who's taking a picture. I don't see a camera.
I could take one. I don't know if people want to come off there. Anyone else? Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, I'll post it in Epic.
I got a little video pan I can send in there too.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.